as I'm starting up this video, there is a new firmware update for the camera that I'm using, the Canon EOS R5, and right now I'm just about to download it. It doesn't seem anything too big. I was really hoping to get some extra features like 1080p 120, C-Log 3, Canon RAW Light, things like that would really, benefit my workflow and give me some extra features to play around. But apparently it's just, some autofocusing upgrades or, firmware updates. Looks like something with the viewfinder and I guess some new attachments for some lenses. So I guess in a way it is somewhat of a decent upgrade, but not what I was expecting really. So something. So I'm going to be downloading this firmware update and putting it within the camera, but as always, I do have another special video today. It's going to be another unboxing and tech review since, I pretty much can't really go outside that much with, the pandemic and everything going on. And also speaking about the pandemic, now we are actually within the purple tier of the pandemic, so pretty much cases have started to rise again, not looking too hot, especially here in the Sacramento area and also in California in general. So now the governor has placed the curfew, which is from 10 p.m. at night to 5 a.m. in the morning. So pretty much the curfew isn't super strict. I guess 10 p.m. is a little bit early for people that do come home pretty late. But besides that, make sure you guys are staying safe, staying socially distant, and, in quarantine, washing your hands, everything like that, practicing all those stuff so you and your family don't get COVID, since that is super important at this time. But yeah, I guess that's a little life update. But besides that, as I said, today's going to be an unboxing and review, so it's going to be a bit more camera gear if you guys are interested. This is probably going to be one of the biggest physical items that I have purchased in a long time, and I've been super excited to get this since pretty much ever since I've started really getting into filmmaking. I've really wanted this, but I didn't have the money at the time. But since, I've been working, especially at Sac State, having a job as a photographer and videographer, I've been saving up that money, and I really wanted to get something special, especially when it comes to filmmaking. So the packages should be arriving within, let's say, 30 minutes. So within that time, I think we're gonna go and unbox those items. So let's go straight to unboxing it. Alrighty guys, so pretty much today in the mail I got two packages. This is one of them. This itself is like 10 pounds, so they're just gonna be right here. Let me get the second package since it's a lot bigger, so let me go grab that. And this right here, this is the second package. Here is the main show. It is indeed the Godox SL-60W. So this is probably like my first actual professional video light, even though it's not like the highest of the highest quality lights that have ever been produced. It is still a really good light, especially for people that are, getting into videography that don't want to spend as much money as like an $800 to a $1,000 light, but definitely want to still be under budget, don't want to spend too much, but still want a really good professional video light. So this right here, if you guys know this company right here, if you guys know this company by the name of Aputure, these guys are a pretty legitimate company. They do make high quality products for a lot of filmmakers out there, and they're mainly in the lighting category when it comes to making products for filmmakers. So this right here is probably one of the most popular accessories that a lot of filmmakers get. Alrighty guys, so I just finished installing the light with the softbox, and this thing is probably the most giant light I've ever seen in my life. I've seen this in videos, I've never seen this in person, but this thing is massive. So right here is pretty much the light. This is the Godox SL-60W in all of its glory, but if you guys zoom out just a bit, here is the Aputure light dome 2 with the Godox SL-60W. And literally, the more I get to it, pretty much, once I get to it, oh, look at that diffusion. That thing is really nice. But if you guys can see, I should have a nice circular catch light in my eyes. But anyways guys, today is Wednesday, November 18th, and we're gonna be filming the podcast on the 22nd, which is a Sunday. So on the 22nd, I'm gonna be showcasing this to Sunclope, which you guys remember from the Brown Boys Theory podcast. I'm gonna show this to him, since not only did I buy this for my YouTube channel and my YouTube, reviews, videos, talk things like that, but also I did buy it for the podcast, so that way we can have a nice, bigger light, much more soft, much more brighter in general, since I know that the light there, it's not necessarily the brightest. I have to raise the ISO just a bit in order to film the podcast. So this one is going to do really nice, as you guys can just tell on camera. Like I'm literally like at 300 ISO. Like it's just It's that good, and with that nice diffused light and like the nice cinematic like cutoff right there, it looks really, really good. So as you guys saw from the last clip, I did say that I was going to be showing it to Sun Club, who is the second host of the podcast, and pretty much just showing how big it is and honestly how bright it is, since it looks really, really good and will do extremely well for the podcast. However, I kind of did fail to realize that, especially the stand that I was using, which is this right here, it's not necessarily meant for bigger lights like the Godox SL-60W or obviously the light dome, which was there. It's not the best, so obviously I'm going to have to invest into a C stand, which is pretty much a stand like this, but it is made out of metal, so it's a lot more sturdier, it's a lot more concrete, and yeah, it can actually hold bigger lights. So definitely going to need to invest into that. And that's pretty much the reason why I didn't want to use it for our podcast just yet, because I was kind of afraid of the light just tipping over and just falling on all the gear, and I got some nightmares from that stuff. So I just decided just to use the regular good old general softbox until I do get a better stand, and then I will use it for the podcast. So pretty much, if you guys didn't get a better look at it, here it is. This is the Godox SL-60W in all of its glory, and right here in the front is a little protector. So it is protecting the front of the light, and here is how the light looks like. It honestly kind of reminds me of like a CPU fan mixed with like the actual CPU. Kind of reminds me of that. What about you guys? What do you guys think? So yeah, it's pretty interesting how it is constructed, but the main reason why I picked it up is because there were a lot of great reviews from a lot of people who are using this light, and it is a very budget filmmaking light as well. I know that generally most lights, especially like the higher end Aputure lights, are generally like, you know, $600-700 all the way to $1,000. So it is very, very expensive to go for Aputure or any other brand that does charge a lot. For this one right here, this was only like about, I think, 120 bucks. So comparing a $700 light to an $100 light, obviously you're probably gonna get better benefits out of using a $700 light. But for me, I still wanted to be on a budget, but still wanted something really, really good with a lot of great reviews. Obviously, I don't want something to just, you know, explode in my face. So yeah, that's where this guy comes in. So here is pretty much just how the light looks on the light stand. Obviously, again, I don't recommend these cheap plastic ones. You want to make sure that you get a metal one, especially when you do put that softbox on it. 3, 2, 1. Oh my god, whoa. Okay. So as you guys can see, whoa, this thing is really, really bright. Okay, so right now it is at 80% brightness. It's 80% brightness. This is 48, 45, 40, 31, 27, 23, 18, 15, 12, and 10%. So this right here, this is 10% brightness. And honestly, this is like literally just as powerful, if not maybe a little less powerful than the actual light that I'm using right now to record this video. So this thing can get really, really bright, and as you guys saw with like that 80%, not even 100%, but this thing gets really, really bright. Have you guys like seen like those spotlights that just like turn on and things like that, where it has more of a directional source of light? So that's pretty much what this is. This is a, what do you call it, a barn door? Yeah. So pretty much the softbox is there to make the light softer, so that way it's not extremely harsh on you, while this guy is more directional. It's kind of like a flashlight, very, very bright, very direct, in whatever way it is pointing, and obviously you can adjust these doors, which is super sick. Looking pretty good, so we're gonna attach it to this guy and see how it looks. And guys, just like that, here we have the gel installed, and also, again, we can adjust the brightness, so you can get pretty darn bright. So 40%, 50, 65, 70, 76, 80. Let's just go all the way to 100, because why not? Oh, it's red. Alrighty, so this is 100% brightness. This thing is crazy bright. Ooh, this is actually kind of a nice backlight. Alrighty, so right now I'm going to change off this mount and show you guys the softbox that I purchased, which honestly, probably one of the nicest softbox that you can get on the market. Pretty much, obviously right now it is disassembled. This thing gets really, really big. I think it gets like 34 inches, 34 or 35 inches in diameter. So a really, really big softbox, but definitely makes a very big difference when I show you guys what it looks like. Alright. And just like that, you guys can see that it just got way, way bigger. And you guys can see this entire thing. That's pretty big. So pretty much right in there is the actual light itself, and it makes this whole thing super, super big. So here is the inner diffusion. It is pretty small, but it does give you a secondary source of diffusion, because obviously, you know, when it comes to a nice cinematic look, you want the light to be very, very soft. and pretty bright at the same time, so that way you can get a really nice look. That pretty much just makes up for the inner diffusion, so that way it is much closer to the actual light itself, and that way it is not super bright and super blazing in there. And now we get our bigger diffusion, like this, and then we just have to put it all the way around the top of this thing. So that, we got the diffusion on like that. So now I'm gonna face this light towards me and show you guys exactly the beauty of what this light can do. And also I'll do a little comparison with the softbox that I'm using right now and just show you guys exactly how much of a difference it makes to have a really nice filmmaking light compared to just a general softbox that primarily is used for photography, but is also kind of used for video as well. So let me plug this guy in, turn it on, show you guys what it looks like. Alrighty guys, and after setting it up and turning the light on, this is pretty much the effect of the light. I put the strongest diffusion to make it very, very soft. As you guys can see, the closer I do get to the light, the softer it is. It's pretty much one of the biggest principles in filmmaking, especially when it comes to lighting, is the bigger and softer your light is, and the closer you are to the light, the softer the light will become. So honestly, a very, very important tip when you are filmmaking, and I'm kind of just gonna crouch a little bit since I don't want to put it up too high because I don't want this thing just falling over. But as you guys can see, the result of it makes a significant difference, especially when it comes to the look of it. So that's gonna do it for us on this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I haven't been making that many videos recently. I've really been struggling, especially with managing my time, especially when it comes to managing with college work, since now we're getting into the final season, and I think school gets over on December 16th. So after December 16th, I promise I will start getting back on my grind of making YouTube videos and coming back for you guys. And also, I think this week when I'm posting this video, it's actually gonna be Thanksgiving break. So I might be having a few video ideas that are on my mind right now, that I might be working with some other friends, some other filmmaker photographers. So you guys may want to stay tuned for that. But yeah, so honestly, once school gets over, I promise I will stop being so lazy. What? Why is this thing here? Just go. Bro, stop being there. What are you doing? Go away. What? Yeah, man, you've kind of been slacking on the videos. Bro, why do you keep coming here? Dude, I keep telling you to get out of here. Make a new video, bro. You have fans out there that are trying to watch your content, try to be with you. Oh my God, bro, I'm telling you, I swear, as soon as December 16th comes and once I finish my work, I promise I will get back to making videos. December 16th? Yes. All right, you guys better stay tuned for that. Fine, I'll get out. No, you get out of here. Get out. All right. Out. Have fun, guys. Gosh. All right. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Peace.